I was channeling in, and there's a lot of collective energies, and our gifts are really evolving and changing and shifting from the ways that we used to have them. So we're still like grounding the gifts that we had prior, but we're growing upon those, and we're noticing the ways that they're kind of evolving, maybe in different ways than we had expected them to, or faster paced. For me, for example, like today, I've noticed like a lot of readers like kind of pop up on my feed talking about the crazy energies due to the solar flares. And what's really interesting about this is I had noticed this actually prior to this happening. Like I picked up on the energies before they happened. So I don't know if you guys remember my last Starseed reading or not, but it wasn't that long ago. And I told you guys that I was getting like insane, crazy activations, like vibrations head to toe throughout my sleep. And I did not understand what was happening because it didn't seem like too many of you guys were receiving the same kind of activations. Even though we're on different paths and things like that, it's usually not something that I pick up on like that early on to where it's like that intense. So I definitely feel like I was picking up on today's energy, but that much ahead of time prior, if that makes sense. So that is something new that I have started noticing, along with a few other things too. So I'm going to go over those, and just kind of see where we go. So, yes, you guys are receiving a lot right now. It's kind of like beyond what we were expecting is like basically the big message that I'm getting. And I'm also getting like, you really need to truly trust. You need to truly trust in your own truth and your own frequency, like no matter what is coming at you, because not just frequency wise, but also like anything that's happening in your outer reality, like you really have to hold true to your truth right now, and just keep trusting where you're being led, trusting where you're going. And it's a hard thing to do when you're used to a certain pace or frequency or vibration, and then that gets kind of switched up on you, and then you have to learn how to trust that new thing, and you kind of slowly start to integrate it in, if you know what I'm talking about. But you have to really remain open and just trust wherever it is that you're kind of like peeking into or peering into. Is like, I'm kind of getting that. Like it's like a whole new passageway or portal that you're kind of like peering into. The portal is the gift. And the only way that I know how to describe this is we just recently watched a movie, me and my daughter, called Encanto. I think that's what it's called. Welcome to the stream. And so in that, I think her name is Maribel, but basically she feels like she is the black sheep because everyone in her village was given a gift. And like her gift is, you could see it very prevalently throughout the movie that she's very compassionate, she's very empathic, like she helps those who even have bigger gifts than she does, and she assists them along their path, but she feels empty because she was never given a gift. And what I mean by that is like some of these people in her immediate environment were given very profound, very like, I would say 3D yet higher gifts. So they're shown in the 3D, but hers aren't like seen as much. And I think it's because she is still teetering on the fact where she is not fully trusting herself, or she doesn't have this full faith in herself yet. And then, but you can see from an outward perspective that her gifts might even be stronger than all of those in her immediate environment, even though those people are being shown as having like more, I guess, like show-offy gifts. I don't know how to explain it any more than it's like all these people in her immediate environment, and you haven't seen the movie, they have like superhero gifts, basically, which we all do, but she just hasn't stumbled upon hers yet. And she's thinking that she does not have a gift because she's waiting, while everyone around her has a gift. But you can, like I said, from the God perspective, from the outside viewer, you can see that her gifts are very strong, even without her having like a supernatural gift, which she does. And she is actually the miracle that they were all waiting for. Now, I'm only halfway through this movie, but it's very like eye-opening and profound. So anyways, she goes to enter this doorway, and the portal at first is closed off to her when she's little, and she's helping others go through their doorways to find their gifts, right? She plays a very critical role. And people feel comforted by her. Like they feel like they can go to her with anything. They feel like, oh, like she can lead me to my gift and things like that. And if you think about that, that's a very critical role to play in someone's life. So even though like her gifts aren't as profound or as like big as the next person, her gifts are still very, very important. And so this is a message for the collective that whether you have even come into the awareness of your gifts or not, your gifts are very, very important, no matter how extravagant or how subtle they are, because those are just layers and facets of frequency and perception and judgment within our human consciousness. And the reason that you're here just to begin with means that you have a gift, and whether you've come into the realization of what that is or not isn't actually as important as you think. It's just like being here and knowing and trusting and going through your journey anyways. Okay, despite anything on the external. Okay, it's called Encanto or Enchanto or something like that. It's, I think it's Encanto. I could be spelling it right, but wrong, but it's Encanto, Encanto or Enchanto. So it's really important just to know that. And basically to sum it up is she's thinking that, you know, like her gift isn't coming, or that she's the one that's causing the magic to actually disappear, or that she's the one ruining the magic, when in fact, like the magic was actually waiting for her arrival. It just wasn't ready at the time that she was ready to receive it. Okay, so it's still coming. So if that message resonates for you, like please allow that to sink in. I feel like it's a really important message. It's also really important, another note of something that I channeled is being open with the synchronicities that you're receiving. You really have to allow yourself to be open with these. And even if you've, let's say, discovered a meaning and attached that meaning to that synchronicity, Spirit is still wanting you to dig deeper into those synchronicities. Like it's really important that you still dig deep into those synchronicities, because there's more to be uncovered there. Then I was getting a message about colors and color frequencies and what they mean. So for example, I've been drawn to these certain color palettes for like the last month or so that just kind of came in very, very randomly. You know, some are more like easy on the eyes, and then like some are way more vivid. So it just kind of depends. But I've also during this time have been seeing tons of messages about color frequencies and what this means. So pay attention to that. Maybe if there's like a certain color that pops in and you're just drawn to it randomly, or you're just like really into this certain color palette all of a sudden, maybe do some research on your own as to what that could mean, what that could exemplify, what that could, you know, show you, and dig a little deeper. So dig a little deeper into the synchronicities, dig a little deeper into the colors that you've been receiving. Maybe you just have like a random new color that you love. Like for example, a random new color that I've slowly started liking is the color purple. I used to hate the color purple. I absolutely, like, I didn't hate it, but I did not like it at all. Like it kind of disgusted me for some reason. And I happen to really like it now, which is really kind of bizarre for me. So yeah, just paying note to those things. And there is proof, because I've recently saw a video on this and it makes so much sense. And especially if you're Andromedan, and especially if you're Lyran, they're saying, and Arcturian in Syrian, Like you're gonna have these like resonances with these colors, like even more so to a point where it's like almost too much to handle, which is kind of strange, but not. It's like the frequencies of these colors is doing something maybe to your pineal gland, your third eye, maybe just to the essence of the energies around you, but it's also helping you to sync up with like some of your healing, some of your transmutation, some of your alchemy, like the inner alchemy that you do and the work that you do. And I've also seen, like I said, videos on how the colors do affect your frequency. There's scientific proof that you like the color, oh, the green on my nails, thank you. Yeah, this was just fun for summer. But yeah, so pay attention to that. Like pay attention to the colors that you're drawn to, pay attention to the colors that are showing up in your outer reality. Just being very mindful and also visceral about that, like paying attention to that, like really being observant with that and paying close mind to that, because it can mean a lot. And there is scientific proof that the colors do affect your frequency. There was a video that popped up on my TikTok where a lady was talking about red, but how male babies perceive it when they're born and female babies perceive it when they're born. So male audiences are more drawn to yellow-based red, as to where females are more drawn to like a pinkish red, like a raspberry-ish color red. So a blue-toned red, and males were yellow tone. So it's just like things like that that are really intriguing. Also, they put the color red in restaurants to get you to eat more because it causes more hunger. So restaurants are very notorious for putting like red on their walls or their wallpaper or on the ground or pictures and things like that around where you're going to be eating. So it's interesting that they know these things, you know, because they've done the scientific research on that. So it's interesting. Also, like the color pink is supposed to make things more appetizing too. Just like really interesting things. Like for me, I'm really drawn to the color blue because I'm very Syrian and Arcturian, and blue is just like a you know, very electrifying for me. Like it literally runs through my whole energetic vessel, and like I can't look away from it. Like the color blue, when it's in a light bulb form or it's glowing or there's a light of it, I will stare at it. Just like, it sounds so weird, but I will literally be in awe of that. I could like literally stare at it for forever. So that's something to keep in mind too with the colors and how they are coming across your physical reality. And then also like how they're combined. So like not just one color, like how different colors are kind of like meshing, molding, and exactly like which color palettes you're being drawn to. Let's see. I was also getting a message about new mathematics coming in and new equations being downloaded and provided to us as gifts to the masses. So you're going to notice a lot of people, not only on Instagram and YouTube and TikTok, they're going to be talking more and more about these different mathematical either equations or systems that have just seamlessly been downloaded into their consciousness. Hey Candace, welcome to the stream. I'm doing a general reading for a moment. I'm doing Starseed, and then I'm doing a love general reading, and then I'm going to be doing some paid mini readings at the end here, depending on how much energy I have left. So welcome. Yeah, so a lot of people are going to be talking about their mathematic equations that they've just like stumbled upon, and they come so easily to them. Also, you might stumble upon some things that you're just really, really naturally good at, but you've had no intel or no prior learning that you know of prior to this lifetime. You're just really naturally good at it, and it comes out of left field, and you're like, what in the actual hell? Like, for example, for me, I love you too. I love you too. Example for me, like I am not the best at astrology, but I'm really good with the specific stars and the light beings that reside there. However, I was literally introduced to this like Arcturian starseed way of reading astro that just came in. It felt like overnight, and it's like highly complex, but for some reason I just know how to do it. And it's mind-blowing. Like, it literally is baffling, and it's like, what the actual fuck? Like, this is it's kind of scary almost in a sense, because you're like, how do I even know how to do this? Like, this is so weird. It's like when you receive downloads, like, and you're just like, where did this come from? Like, this is so bizarre. It's kind of like the same sort of feeling and energy, but just note that, like, there's going to be a lot more technological advancements of love, not artificial. So, hi, welcome to the stream. So you're going to be noticing a lot of starseeds and a lot of people talking about these things everywhere. Like, people are going to be starting, like, receiving, like, and I'm talking about not AI. I'm talking about very organic, very honest, very loving energies and ways that we can, like, really benefit and advance this planet to go up against the artificial intelligence, okay? So, like, really, our gifts are really coming online, and it's not a joke. Like, it's like literally what is propelling forward and what is happening. The sun's coming through my window to just confirm and validify that. So another message I was getting, what did I write here? I channeled that there's going to be more news coming in about Andromeda, the star system Andromeda. So it's interesting. It's interesting. I'm also getting, like, when you receive these very intense know-hows on how to do these mathematical applications, maybe even technological advancements, things like that, things that are being downloaded, that I'm talking like numerological, and also like scientific and technology wise, like, there will be an essence of fear there, but there's also going to be this alchemy that also simultaneously happens while you're receiving it to help neutralize that element of fear. And so you don't have to worry about that. It's just something that I wanted to bring up. So if it is happening and you are experiencing those things, to, like, understand that that's probably an essence or a frequency that you may pick up on, but it will be transmuted either simultaneously or very shortly afterwards. So it's not something you'll have to worry about. Also, a lot of the things that you're going to be all of a sudden knowing how to do, you're going to learn that you've been doing it, like, this entire time. Whether you've been physically, tangibly doing it in this third dimensional realm on the earthly plane, maybe you've been doing it in your higher avatars or off on another dimension or another world or another planet or another star system, and you just didn't have that connectivity to realize it yet until this moment in time. It played out in divine timing. So that could be connecting too. I'm also getting, like, we're going to be bringing back more of our soul frequency. So our soul frequency is always there. It's always rooted. It's always grounded, right? But there's, like, other soul fractals of us that are coming in, and maybe this is a part of it too, that are, like, from the star systems and other things that are going to be coming back into the, like, totality of us. And you're going to be feeling it within your solar plexus, so your stomach area. And they also want you to marinate in your own frequency. So, yes. So you're going to be marinating in your own frequency a lot, like, or they want you to do this. I've been doing this recently, lately. It's really amazing. I love being in my own frequency so much. I love being alone. But they're really wanting you to, like, just take in that essence of you and just let it simmer, like, let it marinate. You know what I mean? For as long as you feel like you need to. And by doing that, like, you're really culminating that energy. I'm also getting messages about mermaids, like some things that are going to be found out along the next, like, coming weeks is what I'm hearing. You're also going to be, starseeds, you're going to be coming into awareness of how everything you've been provided as far as gifts, knowledge, just things, even tangible things, how they're all fitting together. And, like, you don't really have to know yet. They just want you to kind of ponder on this idea. So let's say you do one thing. Hello, welcome to the stream. Hey, Jamie. Let's say you do one thing and then it's like you do another thing and then you have this like new gift that comes online too. Or let's say you only do one thing, or let's say you do multiple things. Either way, you're going to be pondering on how all these things sort of fit together and sort of mold together in your own kind of like cocktail, if you will, of frequency and energy and gifts. So that's going to be something that they want you to ponder on. Like how like kind of like guessing at your next timeline of what you're going into. You don't have to know. That's what they're saying. Like, you don't have to know, but they're kind of like getting you prepared and ready, I would say, for what you're going to be kind of culminating or entering energetically next. And the reason why I brought up that movie 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐬𝐞𝐞 is because you're literally, hello, you're standing at the doorway and you're about to enter through that portal. You're about to enter into that doorway of magic where all of your gifts kind of culminate together and it makes sense with your 3D self. Okay, so I think like on a higher level, your higher dimensional awareness, like everything already makes sense. But like here, down here, where it's not like vibrating to the highest degree of what the higher dimensions are, where some of your gifts are still at, that you will be acquiring, but it's like you enter the door and everything just fits together. Like you understand why you came across those people, you understand why you have the certain friends that you do, the soul family that you do, the family that you were birthed into. You have this like understanding of how some of these puzzle pieces are starting to shift and mold and come together, and you're starting to understand why you are here and why this like frequency of multidimensionality, how it's all starting to connect and take shape and form. Okay. Another message they had was like culminating your frequency through colors, and by becoming more curious, yes, diving deeper into synchronicities being shown to you at this time. I went over that in the beginning. Also, you need to know that thoughts that lead you away from your true frequency, which you all know your true frequency. You know the truth of who you are and what that energy feels like. Any thought that leads you away from that, any thought, those are not truths. Any thought that leads you away from your own frequency is not true. So the more you're able to identify that and be aware of that, it's going to help you move forward in the coming months to where it's going to make it easier to see like what's kind of trying to drain your energy, or what kind of like, let's just say lower vibrational reptilian templates are trying to kind of like drain your energy. As long as you know your truth and you hold on to that and you understand that is you, you know then that anything leading you away from that or anything that goes against that as an opposing force is not anything of your truth, which will make it easier for you to identify and easier for you to move forward, okay? What did we get here? Oh, you might be taking more showers or baths than normal at this time. I'm not really sure why they told me that, but if that's something that's resonating or it just feels good to do, like just connecting or cleansing your energy, or just, I don't know, just taking a shower feels good. Like, trust that. Like, I don't know. They're saying more showers and baths than normal. Your solidified yet fluid frequency of yourself will never judge yourself. Yes. So this is the thing that I was talking about. Anything that strays you away from your truth, okay? So let's say this is your truth, and then you have a judgment here, and you have a judgment here. Your solidified yet fluid frequency of yourself, of your truth, would never judge yourself. Ever. Never, never, never. So if you have a thought or a frequency pops in that is judging yourself, that is not of you. That is not yours. Remember, anchor back into your truth. That is your anchor, and it'll lead you going forward. So the more you're able to identify that, you will know. And I'm also getting like a lot of you have already evolved like like, or you will be, like, this is a very critical time right now. That's why, like, the energies are so insane, and that's why I picked up on it so earlier on, maybe, because I usually don't pick up on it that early on. That's why I was like, that's a new gift, because I usually don't pick up on it that early on. You've evolved beyond human perception. So if you're coming across, let's say, different groups of people that maybe haven't stepped into that template yet, or haven't done as much work as you, not saying that's good or bad, but you are going to trigger those people. Not only that, you might not even, like, they won't even know how to even perceptualize you. Okay, Kenzie, are you okay? Okay, just checking. So they won't even know how to perceptualize you because of how far you've advanced, how far you've evolved. This goes like beyond even black sheep stuff. This is just like people that are still very much so still walking on that pathway to awakening. Like, they won't even know how to perceive you, how to perceptualize you, how to resonate with you. And that's not me in a way of like promoting separatism at all whatsoever. I very much believe in unity. I just know that all of us, because of the energies that I'm getting, are on different like pathways of growth. Like, some have advanced a little further, some haven't. It's like school, right? Some kids get better grades, some kids don't. It doesn't make anyone better than anybody else because there is no judgment here. But you who have evolved and advanced because of the dedication and the work that you've done, and because of the service that you have been put into place for others behind closed doors. Not even so much like in front of everyone. Like, literally the work that you've done being of service behind closed doors, that has brought that good karma back to you. You will start seeing this, but you have evolved, okay? You have evolved beyond the human mind that can perceive that kind of frequency level, or that growth, and so they're not going to really understand a lot of what you say, a lot of how you present yourself, a lot of what you talk about. They're not going to understand it because you've evolved beyond that. And that is okay. It's just like what spirit is and what my higher guides are like wanting me to tell you, okay? Also, whatever gifts were given to you, no one, and I'm talking no one, can do it better than you. No one can do it better than you. So you really have to trust what's been provided to you, how you go about doing certain things, and it doesn't have to have a label, and it doesn't have to be anything. It can just be a frequency alone that you carry, that you know that you do, just by being here. But like, literally no one does it better than you. And that's something that Spirit like really wants me to reiterate to you, because in this Antichrist system that we're in right now, where the starseeds are here to literally obliterate all of it, it's very important to be aware of that when every day we are reminded of the opposite. Because of the frequencies here, because they are trying to literally obliterate all of humanity. But see, we're not human. And they know that. And the only reason anyone would need to feel like they need to control anything is because there's a fear attached to that. And when you become evolved, you understand exactly what that means. And therefore, if you know exactly what that means, there's no reason to fear the enemy at all. Not whatsoever. Okay? So they're saying also, don't be afraid to ride the waves of frequencies that you are experiencing right now, because these are very intense frequencies. And so, like, I picked up on this like a week or so ago, maybe less than that, whenever I did my last live stream on here. But the activations are intense. The frequencies are intense. And don't be afraid of them. And don't be afraid to like get on the back of that wave and ride it. Do not be afraid. Especially if it's like a spirit animal. Let's say it's even a dragon. Let's say like in your third eye. Because I had this recently happen to me in a dream where a dragon appeared and it was like scary. But I trusted my connection to that fear, in knowing that I can conquer and transmute anything. So can you. Hello, Mike. So literally, I connected with the dragon. I just jumped on its back and I was like, let's do this. Like, let's go here. Let's go there. Like, the more you can just like take, like, just kind of let go of the fear and just kind of jump on these waves of frequencies is what they're talking about, or different visceral things that are being presented in your conscious mind or even your unconscious, the easier this transition of flux and flow is going to be for you. It's just going to be easier. Okay. And not saying if it's harder that you're doing something wrong. No, not whatsoever. That's just a tip to help you kind of ease into it better. More perceptions evolving outside from the 3D mindsets. Yeah. So a lot more star seeds also you're going to notice, especially on TikTok. I've noticed this on TikTok. I feel like TikTok is more open, like viscerally. Like, I feel like the star seeds on TikTok, like, they don't feel the need to present themselves in any certain way, shape, or form. So it's a really like just natural beauty that that's very authentic that I'm being that's being shown to me through TikTok. But like anywhere really, but what I'm talking about is like these star seeds are going to be coming in with these perceptions that will literally blow your mind to bits. And you're gonna be like, what the hell? Like, how do they know that? I've never downloaded anything like that. We're all going to be downloading different things. But you're going to be noticing this more and more where these people are speaking on things that like really are evolving outside from the 3D mindset. Like beyond this earthly realm. Like, what are you talking about? Like, how did you know that? Like, what? And those are the kind of downloads that I'm talking about that people are going to be talking about, that are like coming in now. Okay? And I spoke about this at the beginning. This will be saved. So don't worry if you missed the beginning. It's also going to be put on my YouTube channel. Let's see. Anyone you come into contact with, is going to be resonating. Yeah, we spoke on this. I kind of forget I wrote this. Is going to be resonating on different frequencies, but you are going to be transmuting all of them, whether you come into contact with these people or not. It's why you always rise above. It's really nothing for you. You hold this natural ability to transmute energies. And while, yes, you can feel a lot, it's actually a piece of cake for you. Because of the way that you have experienced it throughout your life at such an early age on, has really prepared you for what's to come. Okay? So just know that you hold this very strong transmuter ability, like very, very strong, especially if you're tuned in watching this. But this will actually be getting stronger and stronger as you develop, as you evolve, as you grow. But this was a channel message that came in really strongly. So I wanted to talk about that. Let's see here. So, yeah. Okay. Let me see what I was getting here. Okay. So to give people an idea, and this is not to have a label, and this is not to basically separate what some people would say like the muggles from the star seeds. No, because if you think about it on a higher perspective, the muggles are still, and I don't want to call anyone a muggle, like those people, those groups of people that have not yet awakened or not stepped into like a certain way of viewing reality, like that's okay. Like they're still evolving and growing on their path. So it's not to promote separatism whatsoever. This is to give you kind of like an understanding of how star seeds think and an understanding of how humans who have not yet acquired or done the work that the star seeds that are viewing this have done yet. Okay, so this gives you an idea of how star seeds think, of how we represent here, of what we bring into this earth. And they had me draw a diagram, which is really like the worst drawing ever. Like it like this is literally kindergarten level, but I think like the simplest things are sometimes the best way of describing things too. So this is, okay, so this is the way that star seeds view, okay? So we have Earth right here, and I drew it as a beautiful little sunshine there. But we have, this is the third dimension, and this is the human's home, right? Well, star seeds is everything else outside of this. Everything else. everything else. So if you're wondering why maybe like certain people, I'm trying to wave and it's not letting me. There we go. If you're wondering why certain people maybe perceive higher, or they perceive more like with their imagination as to oppose with the 3D tangible realm, it's usually because they're star seeds. It's usually because they have this understanding of where they came from without really even knowing how. And so they come in and so what was I getting here? It's like, it's not, okay, so I wrote, it's not a separation, it's a melding of all. So when star seeds come in with these perceptions that are outside of our earthly or human perceptions, it's to ease these perspectives in. It's to melt them in, to anchor in a higher consciousness or a broadened mind or different perceptions outside of everything that you've ever known. And what else did I write here? Let me see. I have another diagram. Okay. Yeah. So when we're channeling and we're coming in with these mathematical equations and these systems and numerology and geometries and even things outside of like a scientific level, just thoughts in and of themselves that really expand the consciousness, it's because they're star seeds and they're coming from out here, because here is our home. Here is our home. This is your home. So this is for the humans that have not come across their awareness of their universal connectivity, or the understanding that they come from the stars. And so we bring this consciousness in, okay? And so we have this like broadened mindset outside of the earthly realm. And then we anchor this in. So this everything else that's outside of the earth, we bring this in. We bring this in here to evolve consciousness. And the same goes for thinking and perceptions on the earthly plane. Like, this is what we do. Why? Because this is our home. This is where we come from. So it's like when, let's say, one part of the country, let's say like one race crosses the border, or one tribe crosses the border and enters into another, they're going to still take on the perceptions of the people that were there, but they're also bringing in all this new information, languages, know-hows. Okay, and this is what the star seeds do. Okay, just to give it an easier understanding of what is actually going on. So yeah, they have me draw this diagram. But yeah, some other things that I had channeled is like dreams. Like dreams are going to be very vivid. Very vivid. Also perceptions, like and frequencies that are trying to lower your frequency, you're just naturally going to rise above them. And they want you, your guides want you to envision yourself walking through portals. I got 𝐒𝐭𝐚𝐫𝐬𝐿. I did not know what that meant. I had no fucking idea what that meant. I had to Google it. It means holy or sacred, and it also means like matrimony or marriage that plays out between the gods and goddesses. And I was like, what? So it is like a divine union, but can also represent like a sacred ritual. And oh, what did they want me to say? Hold on. You all are, this is a message they gave me. You are the essence of the 2 in 1. You are the essence of the 2 in 1. Divine feminine, divine masculine, all in one tangible body. Okay? You are God and goddess merged in your consciousness before you seeded here. So that's why I think they gave me that message. You're basically the union of this. And another interpretation that they had for this Hieros Gamos is the union of wisdom and compassion. It's primordial, it's mystic. So you are the union of both compassion and of wisdom. And you are also the union of God and Goddess merged in your human form here on the earth at this time. Okay? So that was something that they wanted me to say. They want you to envision yourself walking through portals. I talked about that. And then they had a picture underneath this Hieros Gamos, whatever. That's, it's symbolic. It's a symbolic ritual. So especially when enacted in a symbolic ritual where human participants represent the deities. Well, that's the thing. Like, all humans are deities. So if you weren't aware of that, allow that to integrate and allow that to sink in. Because you've been told your whole life the opposite of what is true. And they showed a picture of Hera and Zeus. Hera was shown with Iris. Iris, I believe, is the goddess of the rainbow. Yes. So they were showing a picture of Hera with Iris and Zeus. It was in 1900, a drawing. In the 1900s, it was created, this drawing of a fresco at Pompeii. So it was basically depicting the marriage, the sacred marriage of Hera and Zeus. So the notion of Hieros Gamos does not always presuppose literal sexual intercourse and ritual, but is also used in purely symbolic or mythological context, noticeably in alchemy and hence in the Jungian psychology. So it's really like, it's also like a prototype for fertility rituals, but ultimately it is that awareness that it's more multidimensional than just two people, and it's more than just two humans coming together in sacred marriage. It's God and Goddess coming together, you guys. It's God and Goddess, and you were both of those even before you incarnated. So if you have both of those here, and both of those here in this person, is it really two people or is it four? It's four. It's four. And it's more than that. And it's more than that. If you want to evolve your consciousness beyond that, it's the knowing that, like, when you are here, you are a representation of all your ancestors. Not only that, you are a representation of all your versions of your higher selves on multiple timelines and the guides that assist you along the way, which are just other higher vibrating fractals of your higher selves. So it's much more than that. It's much more than that. Okay. So that was something they wanted me to talk about. And that kind of leads very beautifully as a transition into the, sorry, I'm trying to wave here, into the next reading, because I'm going to do a twin flame reading next. But those were all the messages. And what's so weird, you guys, is when I was pulling up the Hieros Gamos and saw that picture, Spirit had me write the word mothership. Mothership. Pointing to the drawing of a fresco that was of a depiction of their marriage at Pompeii. So I feel like there was also a huge mothership present. And it's like, you got to think about it. You know, if you go to a wedding, you're going to invite all your ancestors. You're going to invite all your higher beings. You're going to be inviting everything because you're multidimensional. It's just because you don't see it doesn't mean it's not there. It means it is there, and you need to be aware that it is. That is the kind of consciousness that we're stepping into. We can't play these games anymore of lower vibratory 3D perceptualized thinking, because it's so much more than that. And that's what the star seeds are here to show. Okay? That's what we're here to explain upon. Hi guys. Hey Marvin, what's up? So yeah, it's like really, it's beautiful when people come in with different ideas and higher perceptions. And you don't want to just discount it right away. There was a beautiful video I just saw recently on TikTok. And it's you have to think beyond 3D dualistic thinking. Because the way that we're brainwashed to think, and it's not our fault, but we are told to think black or white. Dualism. It's either this or that. It's this or that. No. You have to be aware from a source level. which is a very high responsibility, but it's also very, very much needed at this time. Sorry, it's not letting me wave for some reason. There we go. It's very much needed at this time. So you have to think beyond duality. And as an example for this, like there was a TikTok where a boy was describing to a very strict Christian teacher. The Christian teacher or preacher was like, what is God? You can't explain God. And the kid explained God, but on the very simplest of terms. It's me, it's you, it's everything I'm looking at. It's the tangible, it's the untangible. It's also the frequency, it's the experience. And he was saying, no, it's one God. Well, you can think of it dualistically, but technically, wouldn't it be all of it? It's all of it. It's all of it. Because if you're multidimensional, God is multidimensional. God can be just one, and God can be many, all at once. So you have to think beyond duality. It is so important. So important. And like, so a lot of people know this, I'm sure, but there's a lot of people that aren't comfortable with that. But that is something that's going to be kind of like braiding and weaving in soon, is these understandings that it's the all. Everything is the all. That's why multiple things can be true at the same time. Because what is truth? Right? So, yeah. But we're going to be leading into, I might post that TikTok actually later on my Instagram, because it really got me thinking like, yeah, these are really beautiful perceptions, and all perceptions can be validified. And it just kind of like depends though. It kind of like depends though, because let's say it's for example, like a program that's here to literally hold you back from expanding, which is a lot of the things that were put into place here. You have to know how to be able to rise above that. You kind of do so quite naturally though. Like you hold this transmutational essence that will just kind of like know how to meld things together and roll with it, right? Hey Chad, welcome to the stream. So you'll kind of just know like how to roll with it, how to evolve your mindset beyond that, beyond limitation, beyond program, and also beyond dualistic thinking. There's so much more, not just within the in-between, but outside of that. It's very much so like the silly drawing they had me do with the earth here, but it's not just the earth here, it's everything outside of it. What about all this that people are failing to see because either they haven't done the work to evolve their consciousness to that level? Not saying it's good or bad, but you're kind of hindering the human evolution and the higher being evolution, because the point of starseeds is to come here and be able to reflect back to God's source, like where we're at. And the Antichrist job on a dualistic mindset would be like, no, I'm hindering all of that. But you can use all of it to your advantage. Everything you can use to your advantage. Everything. And if you're able to perceptualize beyond what other people are telling you, you got it in the bag. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, you got it. Hold on to that. And don't be afraid to share that either. Just because you're different, or just because like it's something that like people might look at you like you're crazy. Like, let them think you're crazy. You know? Hold on guys, 1 second. I'll be right back. Are you okay, sweetie? What are you doing?
I just got marker on my nails.
Oh, you're okay. I was just checking on you to make sure you're okay. Sorry, I was just checking. So yeah, you have to like not be so offended by differing opinions either. Like, keep an open mind, you know, like just be open, because that's what the universe is. That's what you're meant to do. That's what you're meant to be. And don't be afraid to share. If you've been getting these like downloads, don't be afraid to share them. That's the whole point of evolving as a species, is being able to share that, whether people like it or not. That's the point. That's the point. Okay? Is like a lot of people probably won't. That's a good thing. That's a good thing, because what you're doing is you're not only triggering their soul to resonate higher, but you're evolving their mind as well. Don't be afraid to go against the grain, because that's what we need as a society here. We need challenges to the system and challenges to the way that we think. All right, so we're going to be getting into another reading, as I was told to do that. And then at the end, I'm going to be doing some paid readings too. Like I said, if I still have energy. So we were talking about the 𝐒𝐭𝐼, and I might insert that part when I go to edit the reading later on my YouTube channel, because that part's going to be important for this portion. Okay. Oh, also, there's a lot of like solar things happening right now, which I saw. And like I said, like I caught on to this like a week and a half ago, which is very not like me. So like my gifts are like very changing, different, like, and so yours could be too. But with the solar flashes comes this expanded light consciousness. That's the point. That's the point of it. Yeah, I like dragons too. Thank you. Thanks for liking that. That was a birthday gift I received. But yeah, I love dragons. Yeah, so that's what that is. The solar flares are your expansion. They are your expansion to your light body as well. It's also a great time to manifest, okay? So, yeah, a lot of people could be feeling drained at this time. And like I said, the way that I received these activations was very early on. So remember that week I did the last live stream on here, and I was very overwhelmed because I was receiving such intense activations. I was picking up on today's activations that are happening for a lot of people now. So if you're feeling like very, like it's normal, okay? Just go with it. But I'm feeling great today. I'm feeling very energized. I'm feeling like a lot of clarity. So that's also something that you know that you'll be going into. So that is also something that you're going to be noticing, as if you're feeling like really intense energies, they are going to be going into lighter frequencies and more of a clarity of kind of understanding what you're going into, okay? Maybe not exactly, but it will be better. Okay, so let's see. Yeah, blue star. And I was getting that with the colors, like the color blue. Yeah, I'm getting a lot of like Arcturian and Syrian energies, but I do want to read this card and see what it says, because I don't know what this card says actually. This is card number 4, and it's blue star. Follow the, oh my God, we were talking about the blue light, and it's saying right here, follow the light of the blue star. It will lead you to the temple of truth, residing within your soul. So I'm going to read this. It's not very long, but this is about, wow, just expansion. This is everything I got in the beginning too. And this has to do with your throat chakra and also your third eye. So up leveling with those. It also provides a little exercise and an affirmation that I'll read for you. So the blue star is your guiding light through the darkness and serves as a reminder to the blue flame of truth burning within your soul. To follow the blue star is to see beyond the illusions of the mind and walk firmly in the light of your deeper truth, connecting you to the oracle within you, the divine mystic and the cosmic traveler of worlds within worlds. As you journey through life's many lessons and transcend cyclic patterns, your advancing soul naturally ascends. With the rising and expansion of consciousness, you move closer to the guiding light of love within you. In this place of light, ascended teachers and masters dwell, and as a collective union of divine love, they shine their loving light for all to see. Together, their light inspires hope, creativity, and love, and guides pilgrims and seekers of truth on their journey back home amongst the stars. You are being guided as always, star being. Already you have journeyed far within your own kingdom of light. Your courageous soul is being honored as the divine light within you continues to shine brighter each day. With the growing luminosity of your radiant light, you move closer to convergence and unity within your star family, with your star family. So again, the chakras are your throat. So that's communication, and third eye, which is your pineal gland, you're seeing. The exercise here is during meditation, they want you to visualize the blue star shining its light down upon you. Breathe in the light and allow this loving energy to activate and guide you to the blue flame of truth within your own soul. The affirmation that you can say with this card is, I am guided by the love of the blue star to the light of truth residing within my soul. I love that. I love that for you too, Rashida. That is so you. This is so your card. I'm going to take a picture of this too and actually send it to you. That way you have it, because I feel like that was so you. And if you look at this being here, very knowledgeable. Just like knowing, just light and wisdom. Like all-encompassing, you know? So that's what I'm getting. Welcome to the stream. Oh my gosh, I'm trying to wave and it's not letting me do it for some reason. There we go. So yeah, I'm also getting, a lot of starseeds just like really evolving in consciousness and like understanding what it is that they're seeing too, understanding how to like tangibly describe what it is they're seeing. As opposed to like before, we couldn't always describe what we were experiencing or seeing or witnessing, but now you're going to have like an easier time expressing this. And not only that, but like expressing your truths as well, expressing, what it is you're here to do on the planet while you're here. So yeah, I had fun. Me and Kenzie had fun. I painted hers and I glued on mine. Good evening. Oh, from South Africa. That's beautiful. Do you know what's amazing is a lot of my natal charts, not just with astrocartography, but just with astronomy, I was shown this like new system of a way through like, it was so weird. It was just this random Arcturian download on how to see the locations that I've lived prior to this lifetime now through my natal chart placements. And a lot of them were in Africa, like a lot of them. It was wild, but it makes sense at the same time. So yeah, that might be something that I start doing here soon. I'm not really sure. I'm very like broadened as far as gifts and things. So it takes a lot for me to ground them and then come out with them. So, but I do like, doing that, like expanding upon that. So that might be something that I start to do soon. Mermaids are there. Yes, Rashida, you're right. Definitely. And like that Sibylline Oracle book, oh my God, if you guys are into mermaids here, it's by Mama 𝐒𝐿𝐽, and it's about the Sibylline Oracles, and it connects in like the mermaid essences. And I feel like there's so much more though. Like I've been researching, what are their names? And I don't want to say Orishas, the Orishas. So I've been researching Oshun a lot. The goddess of the ocean. I believe she's like the primordial goddess of the ocean, and there's a lot more there. But yeah, I'm going to be researching, of course, like more into that too.